Bienvenidos a Les Chisme con Chantal Ibarra. Ay, Dios mío. La comida es mi vida. Yo soy dominicana. Diablo, cuánta mierda yo hablo. Bienvenidos a otro episodio. Welcome to another episode de Les Chisme con Chanti. With Chantal from Les Traes Orlando. From Les Traes to Les Chisme. This episode is actually in English and is a lot of the behind the scenes of what actually is to be a food influencer or just an influencer in general. And for that today, I have 3 of my closest friends. So instead of eating, because they already do that with me all the time, we're just going to cheer and enjoy some margaritas so they get in the mood. And we start with the real chisme. Whee! Let's
go.
Margaritas in the house. Salud!
Salud.
And if you didn't know, all the Les Chisme episodes come out Friday, 5:30, and it's about that time. So cheers.
Woo! Cheers. Happy Friday.
Cheers. Wait, happy Friday. And sadly, if you didn't know, there was a live video. So go back, watch that episode, the live video, where we share the actual secret. This episode we recorded last year and it did not come out. There's issues with the audio, so we get a second take where my friends are already more ruthless, more savage, they're confident, they already are used to being in the mic. And I'm going to introduce them one by one and tell me real quick your name, a little bit about you, and how we met.
Okay. Erika Escobar. We met at a bank when we were working together. It's a funny story that Chantal loves to tell, so I'm sure she'll get into it later.
Oh, you can tell it and surprise me.
Well, my version is way nicer.
We'll tell your version. Tell your version. They already gave me
both versions.
Yeah, they already gave me a hard time. It's been 1 minute.
I'm taking the intro. It's gonna
Do
be
it.
like 5 minutes.
Do it.
All right, short story. We met a lady at my job. I was new. She had already been there. And I was kind of getting used to everybody on the floor and everything like that. And I kind of paid attention to that lady and her thoughts on Chanti. So we started off pretty rough.
What kind of thoughts did she have, Erica?
Oh, see? Oh, man.
Veneno.
Just young, entitled, things like that.
How old was Chantal at the time?
Chantal was like 25, 24.
No,
Were the
23.
statements
I was
accurate?
23.
Baby.
But were the statements accurate?
No.
At the time.
No.
At the time. We can be honest. At the time.
No. The lady was toxic.
She was very toxic. Chanti wasn't the only victim upon, that she did this to. So it just happened at the wrong time.
And who advocated for you and Chantal?
Melanie.
That's right.
Melanie was. So now I'm going to introduce Melanie. She is our bridge. She connected us and she saw the good between both of us and definitely was like, you guys need to
hang out. You need to be friends.
I was like, y'all are way too similar than different. So you guys need to get over this. Because in fairness to Erica, Chantal was also kind of, because she felt the energy from you. She was not very nice back. So,
I mean, if you're not nice to me, I have no reason to be nice.
Hey, but I heard that most best relationships start this way. So
that's right.
So we all had a rocky start.
See, that's what I'm saying.
We had a rocky start?
No, with her.
Oh, with her.
You did too.
I did too.
You can go first, Mel.
Yeah.
Okay. I also worked at the same bank.
As you can say, these are not paid actors. These are my friends. Give me a hard time.
We love you. That's why we do it. I just read a thing today by Adam Grant, like the forefront leading organizational psychologist, teamwork guy. And he said something about like not giving the truth means you don't care enough. And if you are willing to tell someone the truth, it means you care.
Oh, we care a lot then.
Extra care.
Extra care right here. So yes, I worked at the same bank. Chantal was like the new young gun from the leadership program that had gotten placed in Orlando. And one of her first days on the job, I totally judged her.
She didn't like me because of my answer, but I was very honest.
Well, it wasn't that I didn't. It's not that I disliked you. I judged you.
Okay.
I think there's a difference.
Okay.
Because I never like disliked you.
Judge people? I never thought we
Shut
did.
up. You judge people more than anyone. But yeah, I judged you big time for this because when I started my banking career, I lied my face off saying that I was so happy to get placed in this tiny town of my hometown when I really hated it. And so when she came in and our boss asked her, it wasn't even her boss, it was mine, like, hey, are you happy to be here? And did you want to come to Orlando? She was like, no, I didn't, but I'm making the best of it. And I was like, who the heck is this girl? Like, you're supposed to lie.
Entitled much.
See?
No,
That's not entitled. You're just being honest.
They asked me and I said no. I said, actually, they gave me a list. What cities do you want to move? I said 10 different cities and they sent me to one that was not on my list. And I was like, and I said, hey, I didn't ask to be in Orlando. Okay, you're watching this, guys, 8 years later, where I love Orlando. But at the time,
That's true.
I said, I've only been in Orlando for vacation. I've only gone to Disney Universal like most people. I said, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't want to be here. But I said, I was placed here. So if you guys show me the way, I'm willing and open to go and get to know it. And actually, I'm so glad, hindsight, that I said that because there was like 2-3 people that were like, I'm going to show you the real Orlando. And I just jumped in their car. And I was like, let's go. And they took me to all these local spots.
You were like, let's try this.
Yeah. There you go. and let's try this. And that's when it started, me trying places. Because I was just literally hopping on others' coworkers' cars. And I was like, let's go, take me. I want to eat different places. I want to go places. I don't know where to go.
Let's see what Orlando has.
Yeah. And I was like, young, single. I don't have family. I don't have anything. So I was like, always available. So I was like, literally always available.
Listen, Paulo knows. He knew you then too.
Yeah. I had nothing. Like after work, I was like, what do I do? So if they invited me to anything and everything, guys, I got myself in so many events and so many random things. I would just be like, yes, person. Yes, policy.
She literally would dress like under her blazer for her banking job. She'd have like a nice like black like sexy tank top so that if they invited her to a concert at the Kia Center, she was ready to go.
I would change. Yes. I was literally.
Wow,
And you live downtown too. So
yeah. And I
it
live
was
downtown.
easy for
Yeah.
you to
So I
go.
would go to a lot of the events. Yeah. In the state. So I was ready. So
Also, have you ever talked about your tennis expertise on this podcast?
never.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was such an
Yes.
annoying face, though.
No, she's still in
still-
it.
I
She's
went to
back.
her
but
game
it was,
yesterday.
but it was worse before because she was never available because she was always playing tennis.
That's true.
I was playing last night.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
No, but
care
you
watched
because
her
it
play,
doesn't
like,
get in between our
multiple-
plans anymore.
You used to play like multiple times a week.
Too many times a week.
No, I would play twice a week, and
That's
then
multiple.
the problem is that I was in a Sunday league, and I think that's what was annoying because the brunch and the going to bed early for Saturday. That's what because I was in a Sunday league.
I know it affected our social life, so I did
yeah,
not
no
like-
Sunday leagues.
Yeah,
She's
no,
the
I-
beast.
No, yeah, I don't do that anymore.
But the real chisme, Chantal's a beast on the tennis court.
She is.
She has a USTA ranking for any of you tennis fans of a 4.
Oh my God, no, you're not saying no. I'm cutting her short. Next, Pablito, how did we meet?
How did we meet? We actually lived in the same building and had no idea that we were the two awesome Dominicans there.
Woo, RD.
Except we went to the same like building, get you to know your neighbors event. And one of her neighbors came up to me, was talking to me, and then
Mind you, it was new construction, so the building was very empty.
Yeah,
So
very
people
empty.
went to the gathering because it was very empty. And so you wanted to see the 3 people that lived
lived there.
within 6 floors. There was like 10 people.
Yes. And I remember this guy that used to live in your floor came up to me. He started talking to me. And then as soon as he found out I was Dominican, he's like, oh, you need to go meet this girl. She's Dominican too. And I'm like, oh, who is she? Oh, her name is Chantel. And I'm like,
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to like connect. I don't know why. I just had that vibe. And
He's
then-
like, he
Because
thought.
he judged her on the name.
He judged me too. Like these people, 1, 2, 3, all of them judged me and didn't give me the freaking chance.
I
I
told you the
just-
best
I just-
relationships.
yeah, I just didn't think you were going to be like a true Dominican. So I was
Because
just
that's
like,
not a Dominican sounding name. Right?
yeah,
well, the way
Chantel.
the way he
That's
said
what
it.
I
He
mean.
would call,
You
yeah,
said it
because he would
wrong.
say Chantel, and
Instead
I'm
of
like,
Chantal.
who's Chantel? I'm like, this doesn't sound right. So
And then when I say, hola, soy Chantal.
yeah, no, yeah. Then I just turned around and like kept on going, and then she came up to me and was like, "Hola, soy Chantal," and I'm like, I felt
she's Dominican.
yeah, I felt so like, oh my god, like trágame tierra, because I was like, oh crap, this girl is really Dominican. I'm like, and what did this guy tell her? So it was a great intro.
It was worst best intro. And then turns
But
out,
I came clean and I told you. I
Yeah,
was like,
no.
I don't think I was gonna like you.
yeah, he told me. And then in my true Dominican fashion, I just laughed my face off. I'm like, haha. And
She
then,
got the joke.
yeah, I laughed. And then we ended up going to the farmer's market in the Quiola. I made him walk.
Oh
We
yeah, because
hang
I
out.
had never been to a farmer's
never
market.
been.
Does
Even
not
though-
like to be outside.
That's
I don't
exactly
do
what I was
No,
gonna
but
say.
I
don't
was
do outdoors.
no,
yeah.
but I was like, let's go, let's hang out, let's hear more of your story. We bought things, we had drinks, and then we like had like a whole day evening because I was like, I don't know many people here, and you're right here, the same place, same time, also from Dominican Republic, and
And from the same city, right?
from the same
Yeah.
city. We live like 15 minutes away back there in the same building here. And I'm like, no, this
Yeah,
needs
what
to
are
happen.
the odds?
Yeah, I was like, this needs to
And
happen.
then we put together a really interesting group of neighbors in that
You
building.
did,
Like
yeah.
we had quite the crowd we would hang out with.
Yeah.
It was like the weirdest group of people.
The
I
dark
agree.
times.
But we had fun times.
They were really fun. We
Yeah.
pre-gamed before we would walk to Orlando City games. Like,
Shakira
it was-
concert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
It was like the two Dominicans, the Indian guy,
Who was
The-
Indian
the southern guy.
the southern guy that was very, very southern.
Yeah.
There was the girl that was just looking desperately for a husband.
There was a Brazilian lady, a cat lady. There was like,
You
Oh,
had it
the
all.
cat lady.
Yeah, it
But
was
the
like
cat lady had an obsession with wine.
a
So
true.
it
She was
was-
a cat wine lady.
Yeah, so it was
like a lot
great
of-
hanging out with her because she always had great wine.
True
Okay,
statement.
okay.
True
She added
statement.
to the group.
To the mix,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta
It
get
was
over
a
the cat
very
hair.
interesting
Yeah.
mix.
What a journey in Orlando. And
Absolutely.
this was like let's try this, all of these friendships.
Mhm,
So in that note,
We're not bandwagon fans or friends.
friends, not
Like, we're
bandwagon.
OG friends.
Yeah, OG.
There's a difference.
Yes, I agree. Because you never know people's intentions nowadays. But fast forward a little bit. Pablito was there when I first opened my page. And I already knew all three of them, like I said. And now it's been over 5 years of Let's Try This Orlando. Try this, try that, go there. First it was let's try this URL. Then let's try this Orlando. Pictures of the food, pictures with me of the food, then videos. Like it's evolved like every time a little bit. So they've seen from when it was just like, let's try this shit, because that's how it started. Let's try this shit to see what it is. And then I was like,
It
oh,
really
this is-
started because you had like literally hundreds of pictures
Pictures-
of food on your
Yes.
phone. And you're like,
It
what
was
do I
so-
do with all this?
it was
I'm like,
so
well, just
embarrassing.
post it online. Isn't that what people do?
I know.
That's
know.
literally
And
what
we
we-
literally Googled like what to put, like how to decide on hashtags. We
Oh my
Googled
God,
it.
we were Googling hashtags left and right. Like, what do people
Hashtags
do?
are not nowadays
Is that
when
a
you post.
thing?
You
They're
don't-
they're still important, but like before it was when people put like you had 30 hashtags, people put
Yes.
30. And it was like, okay, which ones? How do I choose? It was so
Oh
there
my
was
God,
looking
the
back,
science of
looking
the
back, it's like
hashtags.
so ridiculous, but it was like that was my issue. Like, what hashtags? How many to choose?
Listen.
Whoa, that was like a big
That
thing.
was the time, and
Yeah.
we're pure millennials right
I
now.
know, exactly. Pure millennials.
And
And
you
then
started with just an Instagram, eventually evolved to TikTok.
Yeah.
and, you have
and
all it's YouTube
TikTok,
now.
yeah, even to YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy. Now 4 platforms. X hasn't been my thing, or Twitter.
X.
X is Twitter.
No, it's called X. We
Oh.
don't go by old names. Move on.
Anyways,
I miss the bird.
you missed the bird. Anyways, one of the reasons I get this great crowd of people here is el chisme, the gossip of the real shit behind being an influencer, a food influencer, like I said in the beginning. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. And that's why I'm going to go around this beautiful room in Hi Hello Labs and tell me what is like crazy, or not crazy, but random different story of things that has happened to you as a friend of an influencer that people online don't know because they just see the pretty video, the final product.
Oh man. We have discussed
Dale que
often
tú puedes.
the awkwardness when we first get to places when the communication is not there is
Why
one
is
of
it
the ones.
awkward?
awkward when you get there and you're like, I spoke to marketing and they told me to come here at a certain time, and we show up at that certain time, and they're like, we don't know you were coming. So then they're like, oh, okay. So then they have to talk amongst themselves for a while. And
meanwhile, we're just like literally standing looking at each other or holding up a line or something. We're like,
well, I used to. Now I just go off to the side and do my own thing and let her deal with it. And
I've actually found good use for that time. Look at the menu.
Yeah, I'm like, catch you later.
Catch me outside.
I know eventually, I think within 5 to 10 minutes, they figure it out. So it's not much of a big issue. But it's just the communication. It's nothing too crazy in that sense.
It's just annoying. You would think like with the years, and it still happens all the time.
Yeah, there's miscommunication between the person you spoke to over like Instagram or email, and then the people at the front of the house who would come and see you, and they just deer in headlights. Like, they have no idea. They're
legit.
Like,
and
who are you? What are you talking about? And there's a little bit of secondhand embarrassment, which is why, Erica exits and Paula looks at the menu, and I just check out the vibes. I'm like,
yeah.
And we also been in situations where they've brought us the food, and sometimes the restaurant is just opening. So the PR person stepped in as being our server, even though the server was doing a perfect job and he did like a terrible job.
Oh my God.
Like,
I remember that time.
And we're like, can we just get the server back? Because he was just so bad.
Yeah, because you can tell the whole story. Like, the PR person is trying to like make sure from a public relations standpoint that I'm going to say good things because it's new. They want to make the experience perfect, but they're not trained as a server.
Oy.
And then they literally don't know. And then the server, and we're like, oh, the server, we want you. We love you.
Can we get a better silverware? If you just let the server do it.
Yeah,
can we get some water, please?
Can we get like silverware? Like, I'm not going to eat this big plate with my hands.
The worst part is like he almost got annoyed that we asked the server for the stuff, and it was like, oh, he's like, I'll take care of you. Whatever you want, you can just ask me.
So weird.
And we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Whatever we ask, get out of the way.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're making sure the plate looks good or the kitchen does a good job, but tag team with the other people, because then it's like a weird experience. And then it's like, okay, how do I share it to my audience?
Yeah.
How was the service? Because I didn't get the real service. I got like a
service.
No, I got like a mismatch of people that were not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally in the middle, and then taking pictures, doing things, and then I'm like, oh, my food's here, but like, it gets complicated.
So there's the awkwardness of like the restaurant, right? And they mess up or they don't know who she is, and that can be awkward sometimes. There's also just Chantal making it awkward.
Oh, God.
Tell us, please.
Okay.
Tell us, Mel.
There's a couple ways Chantal can make things awkward.
Do it.
Number one.
I'm gonna have a drink while
that's number, like, that's getting there. That's the biggest one. Number one is she tells you nothing. So you don't know what you're signing up for. You have no idea what you said yes to.
It's always a surprise, yeah.
If you ask her too many questions, she's just going to ignore you or deflect
100%.
or make you feel bad for asking too many questions. So you're like, you know what?
Or drop you from the invite.
Or and you don't want to be dropped from free food. So you're like, okay, sure, I'm in. I don't know what we're doing. Sometimes I don't even know what time we're going. I you know what? But I said yes. So I know it's sometime on this day. I will just clear my schedule and be ready. I don't know what to wear. We'll just go with it. So that's like one way she makes it awkward. Number two way she makes it awkward is...
I didn't know I was an awkward person. I'm learning just now.
You're a blunt person, but it can cause us to feel awkward. You don't feel awkward. You have no problem.
Exactly.
No shame.
That is
like,
true,
there's a difference. You don't feel awkward. We feel awkward. So then the second way is, we're friends. So we eat out all the time, even if it's not something you get asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some people, I don't mind. I'm pretty good about this. I'm pretty patient. But there's a lot of people, including her family, who
oh my God, my family.
hate waiting for her to take pictures and video of every single item of food.
My family is the worst. Top of the list. The worst. They claim they support me. Nah. Negativo.
They're like, I'm paying for this, bitch. So like, let me eat it. This is not free. Which Paulo's that way too. If it's free, he's good. If it's not free and he's paying, he has no patience.
He's sticking his fork in it.
Exactly.
Correct.
If I am paying for it, I will not wait. I will eat my food.
I will wait regardless.
Because you're the nice one.
Yes, we're the nice ones. So that's like number 2A. And then number 3-way is the damn light. Her massive solar system.
Light it up!
Light.
Which for some odd reason, whenever we're hanging out, those lights go missing. And it's like you could think that I'm just doing something on purpose to make them vanish.
He's hiding them.
But she's lost 2 of those giant ones whenever we hang out. And
You
she
throw
blames me.
trash.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what happens, but they go missing.
And they're freaking expensive.
And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
Like, content
No
is
wonder the
expensive.
one that was like the rectangle that was super bright. Did you lose that one? Because you haven't pulled that out in a while.
No, I have it. But I lost. No,
for
I
special
lost.
occasions now.
I lost that one twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hanging out with me.
Hanging out with Pablo twice.
Oh my
I lost
gosh.
that.
And I honestly remember
Had to,
vividly,
like-
I'm like, I put it in your purse or I put it in your car.
He's like,
And then they went MIA. And I'm like,
and
It
I was
not
like,
me. Blame me.
I was like,
Yeah.
Pablo, we were doing a recipe, an at-home recipe that
yeah,
was,
she literally lost one in my house.
yeah, it was like
What?
no, it was like a paid partnership with like a sazon company that actually I still have their products. They're amazing.
Okay.
I should probably do another video because
Everything in that box was super cute.
it was super cute. The flavor was really good. The video didn't do that well, but it's because I think Instagram, as soon as you put that ad, paid partnership, it kills your views. But the products were really nice. Like the sazons that they make, they're better than Goya and they're like natural. They're really nice. So I was like, Pablo, I'm going to cook something and I'm make something and we'll use these things. Like I believe in this brand. We use the light in his house. We do this thing.
And it was quite the production.
It was,
like,
yeah.
literally had a ladder and we had
my
lights
God.
up. and
Yeah,
so I'm
no,
like, what
yeah,
are
we did like
doing?
the whole thing because I came with a tripod. I literally
It
pulled up
was
at his house
crack.
with everything, and then I couldn't find the light, and I said,
Oh
Paulo,
my gosh, Santal.
I did this big video. We cooked at your house because I don't like my kitchen. We did it, and that's the last thing where I remember. And where is the damn light?
And I'm like, I remember I put it in your purse. And
Yeah.
then we put that in a box with all the sazones in your trunk.
So was the light
Oh.
ever found
The light was found a year later.
Oh my god.
under your seat in your car?
No, under one of the nightstands on the floor in my bedroom.
What in the world? What were you
I
doing with it
no-
there? You
no
taking a, You
idea.
being a Kim Kardashian? You trying to take a sex video?
Oh my goodness!
Next
No.
topic.
Why else would you have that by your nightstand?
No, well, it was on the other side of from where I sleep, so I don't know. I found it back when I was vacuuming
Oh my god.
Qué random.
because my robotina, the Roomba thing, gets underneath that. So I usually stick a shoe in there so it doesn't go and get stuck. And that's when I found it.
That's very bizarre.
Very
Gremlins.
interesting.
Very bizarre. And the second one I found 6 months after. I think we were in Jaleo and we had it was
that was such a great.
it was
event.
such I will plug it in again. If you see in the menu of Jaleo, eat like Jose, pay for it. Amazing.
Yes.
It's like a prefix menu. Amazing. We had a blast. We had the light. And then the light was not to be found.
Got little
But
legs.
now I realize what happened.
What happened?
What happened was we
I-
had too many sangrias that night.
Well, no.
Eso pasó.
Cría cuervo y te sacarán los ojos. Anyways, what happened was I went with my little sister and my little cousin, and they were holding the light. The kids were holding the light. And they sat in the back seat and they put it in the pocket in the back seat.
So you didn't
I
find that
don't.
till-
I never go in the back of my car and like the.
I have
in the
no idea
pa-
what it looks like.
Exactly.
Like the back of my car, I have no idea. what that looks
Exactly.
like.
So one day I put, and it was there. One of the kids put it there.
You
See?
you're blaming children.
You need to put those-
No, she
No.
was blaming me. What are you talking about?
I was blaming him, but then I guess I realized I probably asked him to carry it. and they just put it where they were sitting.
Let's circle back because we were talking about good experiences and bad experiences, and that reminded me because that Jaleo experience was a great experience that came out of a venenoso moment experience.
Tell that chisme. I'm gonna let that
Because-
chisme you tell it because
pasó?
I was.
So she had her sister and her cousin for the summer babysitting.
They're how old?
I don't remember how
They were
old
like.
were.
They're like 13 and 11 at the moment.
At the moment. So yeah, it was.
So I'm taking care of 2 kids.
Yeah.
I'm not a real mom. I'm trying
She
to
being
figure
the
out
mom,
and
it's
still
like-
make content. And I'm like a fake mom.
Yeah, girls go to summer camp. I'll pick you up from summer camp once they were done. She was working with some restaurant that
No, they reached out
you?
to me to invite
and
me.
it was something super basic. It was like hot dogs.
Mhm.
It was like, okay, this is not even a big deal. So she mentioned like, hey, I have the 2 kids with me. Like, is it okay or whatever?
And okay, let me add context. I didn't show up expecting, because people and influencers have a bad rep, like we're entitled. I asked. I said, hey, by the way, I have these 2 kids. Just saying, I had to clarify because people,
Chantal's always good. She always asks before
I'm like,
she brings a
hey,
guest.
I have 2 kids. Do you mind if I bring them?
And they got like super silly about it. And mind you, it's a hot dog place. And they were like,
That sells hot dogs from like Nathan's and puts like toppings in it.
exactly. And they were like making a big fuss about she bringing the kids. So then she got upset and she posted something on Instagram, which then I told her, take it down, take it down, take it down.
Yeah, I got a little emotional. I'm so sorry, but
Still
I
human.
I'm human,
Yes.
and also I was like, what the heck?
Well, it was ridiculous. It was
Yeah, and the way
ridiculous.
they said it, like, oh, I was like, well, clearly you're just squeezing me for a video. My video is worth way more than a freaking hot dog, and I supported you. I like your thing. I just have this situation with the kids,
Yeah.
and I think the way they responded is what pissed me off.
But it all turned out to be great because
Because
she
when I
posted,
posted- Mhm.
and then the people at Jaleo saw it.
Because they follow me, and
Oh.
they were like, we'll treat you how you're supposed to be treated.
You
Come
and
to-
all your guests.
Bring, yeah, it's like bring the kids and all
I
your
didn't
guests.
know this.
So
That's
we,
amazing.
so we showed up at Jaleo, and we had an
Amazing meal.
Yeah, it's like
dinner.
way better
And
than a
it's
hot
like-
dog place.
Yeah.
No offense, hot dog
Absolute-
places.
Oh
but-
no, no,
Yeah.
no. And the thing is, it was like a price fixed menu, and like they had, it was like, I don't remember, like 6 or 8 courses. Well, not only did they give us everything, but they added more stuff. So we ended up having like a 13 meal course. It was just like a 13 course meal. It was just like
Wow.
insane
it was
amount of
insane.
food, and we're like, what are we gonna do with all this? Like, we literally, someone's gonna like have to roll us out of here because we were like,
It
stuffed.
was so good. And then,
Oh my
of course, the kids also didn't cost them much because they like the chips.
Yeah.
They like the most like
chicken nuggets.
Basic things.
yeah, the most basic things. They probably spend like $20 and each kid less, like because
But it was
Yeah.
such a great experience, which then reminds me of like what Erica was talking about, the PR person trying to be the server. And that was going to be like my highlight of a good thing is sometimes we go to these things and yeah, like at the beginning, the experience is horrible because no one has a clue of what they're doing. But then we get these amazing servers that like go out of their way and we have like great conversation with them and they make the experience
true.
so much better.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the
So
servers.
worth it.
Shout out to the servers. One of the things in COVID that I missed the most was being served.
Oh my God. Yes.
I was tired of the styrofoam meals to go. I needed somebody to take my plate and clean it. That's when I
and just
think,
talk to you.
yeah, and
Like,
talk to me. Like
And give you
my
the
love and value for
Yes.
service after COVID went from here to here. For sure.
I think that also brings up a really good point because yes, you're sitting here getting sometimes paid, not all the time, to go to these places, but you still need to compensate, and which you do. All the servers, and
True,
everything
which people don't realize that.
And
Mhm.
so, I mean, it's a free meal in a sense, but you still obviously the server is still making her money. Like it's not her fault that you came in or him. So
yeah, you
it's
still
like-
want to tip them because
yeah.
they're only making $3 an hour.
Yeah, so
Regardless.
I think that's really interesting. The fact
True.
of how much
I'm glad you brought that
that
up because it's
influencer
true. Because
makes.
sometimes, just for you to know some of the tea of how the industry works, a lot of people will be like, "Oh yeah, come through and I'll give you a meal," but they're not paying the server, and that's on you. So I'm like, "Are you really inviting me? Like you're not paying your employee? I'm responsible for your employee while they're helping me? That seems kind of weird."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so it's not really free. You're just putting yours, not theirs. So it's like, so I'm paying your employee. So, it's all this.
but we do always go out of our way to kind of figure
We
that
do,
out.
but like a lot of times it's not clear.
Exactly.
A lot of the hotels, the restaurants and hotels, they will cover it.
Mhm.
okay.
Or some of the other people don't even think about their servers. They don't care, and it's up to you if you're if you're a good person, all of us have been doing this together, gracias, mis amores, for over 5 years. We know, we take care of them. But I see up and coming people that they don't know.
Yeah. So
They
they
might-
don't even think about it.
They won't think about it, or they, so it's like some of the costs that you don't
And that's
really.
taking away a table where they could have made money.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
And they have to be, like, extra on because,
Yeah, because they want to give you a
it's more
good
pressure.
experience because they know you're going to review their restaurant.
and possibly you like
Yeah.
the server
Yeah.
herself.
No, absolutely. And here's, speaking of that hidden cost, thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, yes.
This is where they told me to drop the bomb. Dun, 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 dun. And the special effects. ¿Cómo era?
Because we just
We all
found
have
out before we started recording.
No, I found out when I was on the phone with her.
You found out. It sounds really nice. It sounds great. We're going out to places. We're trying different things. And when you do your taxes, you find out that in 2023, it's 2024 now, but 2023, doing my taxes for the year, I spent over $15,000 in food.
Restaurants.
In restaurants.
Not
in restaurants.
grocery, right?
Yes, it was another almost 5,000 in groceries. So you add that up, and the cost of eating and all these things is 20,000. So was it free?
No.
All the hours, all the editing, all the driving, all the gas, plus actual 15,000 on just restaurants.
Well over 1,000 a month, yeah.
Yeah.
And just to give you a reference point, because I was on the phone with her and she was teaching me how to do this. She's like, okay, go to your Chase, pull up the spending summary for 2023. I spent $6,000 in restaurants. So the fact that she spent
don't teach me how to do that because I don't want to know how much I
was
spent.
flabbergasted. I was like, oh my gosh, you spent almost 3 times more than me last year in restaurants. And you would think that Chantal gets all this for free, but she literally goes to like 2 or 3 places a day. And just because she loves it, and she will go and buy things and make videos of it, regardless of whether they pay her. Like, she just loves it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And people, and it's nice when it, they pay you back. But a lot of times, even the nicer places, you guys can see, oh, they invited her, but I already went. I already paid my dime. So they're grateful because then I create a piece of content. I've already spent 5, 6, maybe 10 hours on them, and they are grateful and they're paying me back with another. But I already paid for the other one, So it's kind of like, and don't realize that until you have to pay back. And in the spirit of transparency, probably from partnerships and different things that people think like it's all that. Not really. I probably made like 6,000. So in actuality,
Just from partnerships? Or total, let's
total.
So you really do this for the fun of it.
Like 15 minus 6 plus this 5, like it's
Yeah.
Dollar bills.
It's literally to make it cost less, but it's it's in the negative. It's in the negative.
Well, yeah, I
So
guess
people
do the
that get
net,
into
then you're
this-
closer to my spend.
If I do the net,
So people that get into this because they think they're gonna make money are in the wrong industry.
unless they really go viral and capitalize on it and do many years. And the people that I know doing that, they have grinded and put 2, 3 videos a day. They have lost their job. They have quit their job and full time, but it's very difficult. And the ones that do make money and start capitalizing on it, most of the time, especially in the food industry, is managing pages for companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on their content. It's creating content for a restaurant, for a dealership, for a law firm, creating content for a company and managing their social media pages.
So we shall continue this as a hobby.
Unless she makes it viral. Maybe this podcast will put her in the stratosphere, guys. Let's go.
The production team smiled. I like it.
We're all about this. Hi Hello
Who's gonna
Labs is
sponsor
behind
it?
this.
Who's gonna sponsor it? Come on, we're ready for the sponsorship.
All the like shares.
Okay, top most embarrassing story with me since I make people awkward. And yeah, you talked about the top best. You talk about the best one.
The
Was it
most
Leo?
embarrassing was the first thing ever when we did that media event.
Oh
that
my
you
gosh.
were a newbie to this thing.
I was so new, guys. It was my first social media invite. And it wasn't even my invite.
It wasn't yours. It was someone else's. That
Somebody
passed
else's.
it on.
Yeah, that told me that they were not going to be able. And they went to so many that then they passed that one to me.
So, and it was a legit media event. So
Yeah.
it was like well put together. And it was a bunch of these influencers. And it was the most embarrassing thing because it's like
We didn't know what to do. We were so lost.
we didn't know what to do. And it was like animals with this food. Like they had a table that was like had everything laid out for everyone to take pictures. But these people were climbing on chairs and tables and had the crazy lights. And like there was all this food that you couldn't touch because it was just for the pictures.
And I had not even a light at the moment. I had nothing.
It
You had
was
no light?
No,
wild.
nothing.
iPhone.
It was wild. And I'm like, what do I even
Whenever
do?
you
Like,
tell this story, Palito, I always imagine like Lion King, like when all the like hyenas and gazelles are
That
like
was
rushing,
it.
and I'm like,
Yes.
that is what these influencers were like.
Like
that was
literally. And they were like trying to get like, it's like a competition. It's brutal because they were trying to get like the best lighting, the best item, the item before the shake melted. Like literally.
But at
so.
the end of the day, everyone ends with the same damn pictures.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Preach word.
It was
Yeah.
your welcoming to this world. You had no idea what you were stepping into when you
It
agreed
was
to help Chantal with her
wild.
first page.
No,
It was
I mean, I had no idea myself what I was getting into. I was as shocked as him. I was like, what do I do?
What
I'm
an
like-
initiation.
It was
that was quite the initiation.
that was
for
the
sure.
initiation, like for sure.
That's where the creative side comes in because I've seen you grab, and even though a lot of influencers go to a specific restaurant, you always make it look different in your videos and everything because everyone takes the same picture in front of the same wall and you're like, no, I'm not doing this, or we're doing it different and giving it a different feel. So that creativity definitely goes a long way.
Thank you.
And she's honest enough to send back a dish if it doesn't look pretty.
I've never seen her do that.
I have one more embarrassing moment.
Shoot it straight.
Go for it.
Shoot it.
Yes. When she doesn't like something, she will tell you. And so I'm like the nice one. And when they
My
came-
God, we were at a popular place.
Yes.
Is that the story?
Yeah.
The place was going viral. People were saying super popular. The guy asked me to go. And it was this one item that was being popular. It was like a specific thing from like a Middle Eastern country. I'm not going to say too much because then people are going to know.
She
And it-
never likes to shout out negative things, which I really appreciate about you.
Yeah, you say the sin without the sinner, you know?
She translated that from Spanish.
And
Yeah.
yes.
Say it in
porque
Spanish.
Se dice el pecado, no el pecador.
We need a shirt made with that.
I know, we need that. I need that. Because
Dale.
I feel like I say that in every
You do.
episode.
You do.
Just to make sure that people say, because I don't want this to be like a dirtbag place, but I want the dirt. But I don't want then people to get crushed online or canceled.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyways, keep going because I just got excited because I remember this and I remember you so embarrassed.
Yes. So the cook comes out and it was like, how's everything? And I'm just like, oh, it's fine. If I don't like specific things, I just don't eat it. So I was like, oh, everything was fine. She's like, well, you want me to be honest? I didn't like this. And
What was the type of food? Just
It was like Middle Eastern.
Yes.
what
But
was
some of the
thing you
stuff
didn't like?
required frying. So she's like, I just don't feel like the oil tastes really fresh.
Oh, you.
She went down to
my
specifics.
No, because
Specific.
like the French fries were disgusting.
Okay, so it was French fries. Okay,
They
got it.
were
Which-
this-
French fries are hard to mess up. So.
They were
hard.
disgusting. But I mean, they cook shawarmas, rice,
Right.
pita, you know, these things. Like if you don't know how to make French fries, don't add it to the menu
Yeah,
because
yeah.
then you took my experience from here to here.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would
When
you add fries to that menu? Like, it doesn't just go.
But we were with her daughter, and her daughter was excited, and I literally told the guy, "Listen, not even the kid was able to eat the French fries."
Yes.
And Erika wanted
Yes.
to.
I was like,
Cold.
okay, well, I'm just going to melt here.
Like Beyonce says in
Oh
her
my
new song, "Colder than the Titanic." Like,
Yeah, like literally, she wanted, and then people online like think like I like everything I try. No,
No.
Well,
and-
the thing is, you only post some things if you like them. If
Correct.
you don't like them, you won't post them.
except for the
To
hot
me-
dog place.
to me,
No,
that's
and
an
Hot Dog Place
authentic
never made it.
influencer.
Oh, it's just
And Hot Dog
because
Place never made it. They
she
got
didn't-
canceled
You
in
got
Chanti's list.
canceled.
Got
Oh,
canceled.
funny.
Yeah.
My embarrassing story, because I told you the 3 awkward things, but I never got to tell you the specific embarrassing story, which I did on the first podcast, which if
Got
you guys watch the
deleted.
live podcast, you will find out that, of course, in true Chantal fashion, she shocks 2 of us. One of us already knew because he
Of
always
course,
knows everything first.
He's the mole.
Yeah,
knows
he's
all
the
the
mole.
inside.
And she shocks us and tells us that the audio was corrupted. And so all that podcast we did and all the effort was wasted. So I get to tell the story again. And I love telling it because it is very embarrassing to Chantal. So we go to.
No names.
I
No.
told it in the last one.
No
names.
So we're gonna
No names.
censor.
Hi,
We're not
The sin,
canceling
not the
anyone.
sinner. Remember.
It's not, you're the sinner. They're not the sinner.
No, because I want to say more things. So
Yes.
don't say the
Fine.
name.
Well, you said hello.
Well, because I
Because that
love
was
them.
great. We love them.
Well, the food was
No,
great
but I want to
here.
say something. I want to.
fine.
I have dirt, so I
This place was a very nice place. It's multiple course meal type
high
place.
end, very high
Very
end.
high end. We were paying ourselves. And it was just like still in kind of COVID era time, you know, like there wasn't a lot to do.
And it was for my birthday.
Oh, that's right. It was for your birthday.
Cinco de Chanti.
I didn't remember that. And so I think it was like $175 per person. So we're like, yep, there's 4 of us. We're going to go. And it's only 8 people in the dining experience. And she decides to bring out one of her massive lights that
It
apparently
was
she
a
loses.
it was a ring light.
It
Not a-
was this big and it was so freaking bright. And the chef is right next to you. Like they're on the other side of your eating area and she is blinding them. And they literally say, like, that is like the sun. We cannot see as they are preparing our $175 11-course meal. And me and our friend Katie are like in the corner just so embarrassed. Like we
They're
are beyond
so
embarrassed.
embarrassed.
We're making comments to Chantal trying to convince her to please put it away. And she's like, nope, I'm paying for this and I don't want my photos to be shitty because I'm going to post about this. So I'm going to use my light and I don't care what they say. And I was like, okay, fine.
You go,
But,
girl.
and then the couple who's like not in our party is like giving us the side eye. You can tell we're like ruining the romantic experience.
Well,
and
because those lights moving, sometimes it just like flash people.
it just
and
gets
it's
you.
like,
And then you
yeah.
have like
And-
white. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see white
You see the glare. and it's
for like
oh.
5 minutes. Yes.
Oh, I'm dying to interject this story.
Fine, go. I'm done. I'm done.
So, the backstory to this
Let's hear it.
is where the chisme is,
Oh, okay.
and that's why I didn't want you to say. So, and I actually told this in Spanish in one of my solo episodes, where I talk about different things that has happened to me. So I had reached out to that restaurant because me and my friend had realized we had followed the person that opened it. We had supported him and other concepts he had. So we were excited for this person to keep crushing it open. I followed him since he had his first spot, all these things. And I basically was like, hey, would you mind if I go record? I would love to try your things. If I go record before your first sitting on a day and we can coordinate it. I'm not asking, and I clarified, I'm not asking for anything for free. I just don't want to ruin your other guest's experience.
Oh.
And I literally said it because, these rooms, when it's private dining, they're dark, they're whatever. And I said, I know it's kind of intimate, so I wouldn't want to like ruin your guest experience, but I want to do good content. I want to like feel like, and everything. And they told me no, that unfortunately they couldn't accommodate it.
Well,
So then I
And
would
I
just
was-
say bye.
And I was like, whoa.
That's the backstory that sometimes we don't get.
that
Yeah.
goes back to awkward rule number 1. Chantal does not tell us things.
Exacto. Exacto.
So, yeah, because I don't know, it was in my head, but then I was like, oh, I asked you nicely. I'm not asking for anything for free. So then I said, well, you can't accommodate me. I can't accommodate you. I'm paying. I'm reserving half of the restaurant. So I'm putting my big ass light and you deal with it.
I wouldn't go as far as like creating content for them if they don't want you to.
True.
Like,
True
do it.
statement. In Pablo fashion, because when things like that happen, Pablo's like, don't even spend your energy, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But I legit was super excited for this.
Well,
and I
you keep
wanted.
it private and you go and you have a normal, basic dining experience without lights.
I can't do basic.
You can't
the
keep
truth.
your lights at home.
I can't do basic.
Don't dim her light, Paulo.
Hey, I like that Cheers to that
Don't
one.
give her light. Oh my
She
gosh.
is the light in this world.
Yeah.
Boom, drop the mic. That was the best
See, that
comment.
was a good one.
That was the best comment. So anyways, I wanted to, because I knew you didn't know the back part, so I wanted to come clean and say that. That's
So
why.
Years
It was-
later, we now all get
Exactly,
it.
because
what
we
she
always
does.
find
This is what
out
she does.
years later.
Correct.
More because I'm not proud of this, but sometimes I like revenge.
Also, in fairness, I
La
will say
venenito.
they had a boundary, and that's up to them. You know, if that's their boundary and they don't want to accommodate you, then they lose out.
Yeah.
True.
They lose out
But-
on having someone like really. And I believe this person later now has asked you and has had you come for free.
Correct.
So
So they
They saw the light, so to speak.
I love all the
No pun
metaphors.
intended.
They saw the light
No,
and what it drawed to the
Yes, because
restaurant.
you know what? The video ended up doing so great that their social media team then reached out to me and take me into the analytics and how it grew. And then they told me how many people have gone there excited to try this place and this
Because
high-end
of the video.
experience.
Yeah. I mean, if you are committing that much amount of money for a dinner, you're definitely like, I'm researching. Like, I'm a research queen. I'm researching and I'm seeing and I'm looking at reviews. I'm
Yeah.
like looking at this type of stuff. So, yeah, you definitely should be compensated and invited back for that.
I was. Don't you worry.
I love it.
I actually paid one more time and then I was invited and all that. And then
Then next time I'm the one that needs to go because I'm like the one
So
that.
Oh
you get
my
all the
gosh.
bougie dinners.
Can we please
get out of
discuss this?
Yeah, we were talking about
If
this
we were
earlier.
an island, we would be voting Paulo off.
here? Yes.
Voting
Let's
Wow.
go.
I would manage to vote you off before you vote me off.
You see, el veneno is
veneno.
real.
Mhm.
well,
But we did figure out like our area of expertise.
yes, and
That's true.
another truth that I wanted to share with you is that you don't realize all these places, the restaurants think, oh, I'm giving you a free plate. Okay, but I have to drive 30 minutes to you. I have to drive 30 minutes back. I have to coordinate with my friends to help record. I have to get ready. I have to have pretty outfits. I have to do all these things. And it's like, by the
And then all
time,
the hours of editing.
and the hours of editing, and then also coordinating schedules. Guys, 2024,
Oh,
coordinating schedules and availabilities be a tough part. Like every
The
time.
worst.
We need
Are you
Avvo
available?
calendars for our personal lives.
Yeah, are
Like,
you available? Are you available? Who's gonna go with me? Do I just go with a little tripod, look like a crazy sad lady? Like,
Aw.
which I have done, and I've gotten more comfortable eating by myself. But it's like, what do I do?
You like to share the experience.
Yeah, of course, because
Yeah, there was a couple years ago where you were like frustrated, I remember, because you said other metro markets, they pay influencers to come and they compensate them not just with free food, but they actually pay them for their time and the editing. And I don't know, has Orlando gotten any better, or is it still pretty much like you just get free food, but it's rare that they'll pay you more than that?
Orlando has gotten better. And thank you for the question. Damn, she knows how this thing works. Wow.
She's natural.
So Orlando has gotten better, and people have realized that when they try to do their content or they have people managing their page, they have to pay.
Ah,
And then also people have realized, okay, if I just give them a plate, they can do whatever they want because they don't really,
there's no contract.
there's no contract, you don't owe me anything. So then now I think some restaurants have realized, I want to have more control of their experience.
Aw.
I want to have more control of how they tell my story.
Mm.
So then they're like, then they pay you, so then they think they can dictate, or they put a contract so that they know you need to put the content this amount of time, or it cannot be a story, or you have to leave it up on your feed because like also influencers got burnt out a lot here, and then they started just putting a story or putting in a little clip
Kinda
because
half-assing it.
because you're half-assing
You're not getting paid.
and you're not doing anything, so they don't owe you, so then there's no formality, so you get what you paid for, which is
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey, good on Orlando. We're growing up.
Yes,
Hey, they're getting
yeah.
more savvy.
About time.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more of that because they want to kind of dictate a little more of the parameters of what you're gonna say or what kind of video, and they're realizing that to have a PR, to have marketing, to have all these things cost. So then also that they're adding it to the cost because they realize they
Yeah.
cannot do it alone. They're
Yeah.
realizing they cannot do it alone.
Yeah. And that you do, like you said, you get what you pay for. So
Correct.
you have more control, you have branding control. Like there's more of a story to be told that's crafted if they have a contract and they pay someone as opposed to just free for all.
Correct. You better believe that if I pay for my food and I want to say whatever the heck I want, like you're not gonna tell me anything.
Right.
Now, if you pay me and there's something that you think I should say differently, I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide. I'm like,
I may consider it.
exactly, I may consider it. If it's like, not something
It's
that
not going to destroy your brand
correct.
if they're aligned.
But she gets, and that's where, like, we got to be clear. It doesn't mean that the fact that they're paying means they get to dictate what you say.
Correct.
And you're very selective with who you work with. Because if she doesn't believe in the place and she hasn't tried it out previously, most of the time, she won't do it.
Correct.
Yeah,
I agree.
and the things they dictate, it's not necessarily like you have to say this, and this is so
No,
great. It's like
it's-
highlight this, highlight that.
Exactly. That's
Which is actually nice. Like when you go to a place and we're like, okay, what should we try? They're like, oh, you should try this, and this. Like they already have a selection of things they want you to highlight. Like that makes it easier too.
100%.
true statement. Okay, we're about that time to wrap up. Anybody one last chisme to close it with a bang?
Oh, geez.
Going-
Put us
pressure.
on the spot.
Always.
Well, I didn't tell good stories, and I feel like we've had a lot of really good stories too.
Do it.
Finish
Yeah,
with
let's end
good
on a
one.
good note.
Okay. Should I tell the most recent brunch we had or the COVID? When we went and we got all the drinks at the chain restaurant.
Up to you, baby.
I don't
Oh,
remember that
jeez.
one, so maybe.
Okay, well, I told it in the last one that never got aired.
Okay.
So
Somebody salty here. Whoa.
She's not gonna let you live that.
Because she
down.
had such a
You
great
will
outfit that day.
live it down.
Remember, she even, I think you got like a whole.
No, but
Oh,
she's
yeah, I did my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
it
still
was-
look cute. Go
Yes.
for it.
Okay. So back in the COVID days, a lot of, especially near the airport, like restaurants were really suffering because people weren't traveling.
Mhm.
I think travel was down 80%. And so this place, since we're not allowed to say names, but this place reached out to Chantal and was like,
Was it abuelo?
No,
Okay.
I remember.
No, it was a super famous chain.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
keep going.
So they reach out and they're like, will you please come and do content for us?
I
And
think
so,
we'd say the name. This is a good story, too.
I already remember.
Can I say the name?
Yeah, go for
It was Bonefish Grill, guys.
she wanted to say it.
Yes.
She was
just
like,
dying.
casi se le escapa.
Listen, I am from Sarasota, Florida, and Outback Steakhouse started in Tampa, and Outback bought Bonefish at one point. So it feels like West Coast is the best coast kind of hometown situation. So I hadn't been to Bonefish in a while, but growing up, that was like the birthday spot, the bang bang shrimp, the
Yes.
bread, the whole thing. So she's like, do you want to go to Bonefish? And I was like, heck yeah, I want some bang bang shrimp.
Guys, I don't know. I just saw a chain. I'm not from this country. I was like, but she's like, yeah, let's go. And I said, okay, I guess we're going.
So we go, and like the lady who's the manager is the nicest woman. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh my God,
she
she was
just
so
treated
sweet.
us like we were all stars. She was so grateful that we were there, that she took the time to come, and they gave us whatever we wanted. I mean, we had so much food.
They
just
even
kept
gave us a
bringing it.
recipe for a drink because I fell in love with that drink.
That's
Wow.
true.
Yes, they wrote it on
I
a
don't think you should say that
napkin.
corporate. No, I'm just kidding.
But that was the kind of service. Like it didn't feel like a chain. Like it felt so personal. And it made us, I think you even posted, it made us realize like there are local people that own
Well-
these franchises and local people that work
Work
there.
at chains, yeah.
And that's so important to support them, especially in a time.
Yeah, because a lot of
where-
people are like, oh, chains, like, oh, that sucks.
I know,
It's like,
and-
no,
yes.
the local people are behind the chains.
Yes.
Yeah.
It like literally, I remember it changed all of our perspectives. And we're like, local people that live in our neighborhoods work at these places and they're
Exactly.
also suffering. They're not getting their tips. They're not getting the traffic. They're not getting, and it literally changed our perspective.
That's when we're like, we need to go out more.
Yeah.
Seriously, we did say that.
That's
we
why
did
she
say
spent
that.
so much money last year.
Yes. And that's why I ended
We
up-
were going to restart the local economy after COVID.
Yes,
For sure.
Y'all were like,
Amazing.
COVID who?
we took it upon ourselves, and it actually ended up posting 2 posts for Bonefish because that's how amazing it was.
Yeah, I mean, normally a lot of places they'll give you like one drink. Like they were just like, "Do you want another drink? Do you want another?" And
was-
I
it was
still
amazing.
like that
Great
smoked
drinks.
old fashioned
Oh my God,
was,
it was
so good.
We need to go back.
Yes.
I know.
If you see an Bonefish Grill post, now you know where it came from. So thank you so much, guys, for everything. Like, subscribe, share. Let's keep chismeando. Let us know if you like the English format. We can do more English. We can do more Spanish.
Sorry,
And I'll see you.
I'm the gringa.
The gringa, and we'll see you in the next episode.